Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear students, we are here with another interesting topic, success and failure. Today we are gonna discuss definition of both, and we are gonna look into characteristics of successful people. Also, we will have a look what is criteria of success according to Quran and Sunnah. I have with me Sister Shabano. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Shabano.
Walaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum everyone.
So without any delay, I would like to start the slides and our discussion will be based on the slides. So Sister Shabano, would you like to start reading?
Yeah, the topic that indicates success and failure are very common terms, and somehow these are taken as positive and negative terms. So today we are going to discuss, are they really positive and negative terms? If we feel we confront success, how should we behave? How should we take it? And if we are facing failure, what's the concept of failure according to Quran? How human mind works? How do we have a lot of experiences in our daily life and in the examples in history and in our Islamic history, how we can see the process of failure and the success. So can we start? Should I read?
Sure, please go ahead.
So we will one by one we are going to discuss success and then failure and their different aspects. So we are starting from what is success. It is beneficial accomplishment, remarkable achievement which benefits the achiever and benefit others here and hereafter. Success must be inclusive, transitive, resulting peace in one's own self and the society in accordance with God's guidance. Okay, so in the Jazakallah, this is amazing definition. It is not it is a specific term relevant to our own belief system, that how success is taken in with the reference of teaching of Quran and Sunnah, that first of all it is a sense of achievement and the sense of belief that wherever I am, it is positive, and being confident and being the feeling of confidence, and then the ultimate result should be peace in my own self, one's own self, and peace with the society and the surrounding. If somehow I am having peace with my own self, with my achievements, whether it is material achievement, whether it is spiritual achievement, but if its outcome is not my personal peace, that will not be considered as success. Same goes with the collective area, and these are the complementary parts of the success. Like, we cannot ignore that if our self are fully equipped with success and we are peaceful, but the surrounding is suffering, the surrounding is irrelevant, and that surrounding is not having any benefit out of our success, so according to Quran and Sunnah, that it will not be considered as success. So to this extent, to see this definition, I feel that success is somehow positive thing. So I just want to you to add something, that is it success a positive thing, or it should be attained, or we should look forward for our success?
Definitely, success is some positive term, but like you said, it's very relative term. Everybody has its own definition of success. If we look at a secular perspective, gathering lots of wealth, having a good designation job wise, or being famous, or having influence on lots of people, these are criterias of success. But me as a Muslim, we need to think, like, are there really criteria for success? Like you stated in these two bullets, these are really amazing points. and that should be criteria of success for us as a Muslim, that the success is not always material. Success is not always being famous. If you are achieving what you are supposed to achieve living on this earth, and you are beneficial for humanity, to me that is definition of success. And Sister Shabana, you could have your own definition of success, and anybody can have their own definition of success. But the rule of thumb is, whatever criteria you have, you are benefiting yourself and you are benefiting the people living with you. That is definition of success to me. Now, you can do that by having wealth. There is no harm in it. You can do that by having a designation and helping people out with their problems. You can do that by being famous or by influencing people, right? By being powerful in any way. So there's nothing wrong in it. But if you have all these things and you are making use of these things like wealth, influence, designation, or any power, you are making use of it in a negative way, that is not success. Because our society is so materialistic that it measures the success on these pivots, and that's it. They don't talk about the usage of these things. So to me, anything which is powerful, which is influential, but it is useful for you and others, is a success.
Jazakallah. I would add a verse from Quran, that Quran says, "Qad aflaha man zakkaha." Whoever purified himself is successful. So if someone knows that success is having money, but with reference how he is distributing money according to law of Quran, according to the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so he does have to purify his wealth if he has by distributing. If he has knowledge, he has to purify the knowledge by distributing. So according to Quran as well, I think we are after this slide and after our discussion, we have come to the point that if we are purifying ourself, our material self, like we have knowledge, material things, and we are distributing with the cause of a good cause and with the well-wish as a well-wisher of humanity, and if we are having a spiritual wealth, that is our knowledge, and we are distributing it, so then we will be successful, like the verse says, "Qad aflaha man zakkaha." So it goes so well with that. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Yeah, I agree. If somebody has purified himself or herself, then he would be doing all those things which we mentioned, right? It's like the main rule, I should say.
Exactly.
Okay, coming to the failures definition, and then we will further talk more about success, but let's talk a little bit about failure. I'll read through. Failure is a complementary part of success when a person does not, sorry for the typo in the slide, it should be doesn't achieve his or her predetermined goal. It is called failure. We will discuss in a general concept of success and failure today, like we have discussed already concept of success. So failure would be exactly opposite of that. Like if you are unable to achieve a certain goal, now you can have goal in your life, like if you want to be someone or you want to attain something and you are unable to do that, you will nominate as a failure. But what really failure is, I think it would be exactly opposite of what we stated, that if you are unable to benefit yourself and the human being around you, that should be your criteria of success. Like I said, there are billions of people on the earth, and there could be billions of criteria of success and failure, but what it should be is very important. And again, the failure, I would say, is fail to do something constructive and positive for yourself in life and for others is failure to me. Sister Shabana, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, exactly. You said it very beautifully that failure is something that we are not able to achieve our predetermined target or what we were supposed to have. So, being a believer, uh, we will see that we will see that in the course of success we will face failure. Like we try to be punctual in our salah, we try to be punctual in our all the ibadah, but still we are not on the same point, but we try and try again. So I think failure is a part of success. It is a complementary part of the success, but a person who is mindful, who is conscious of what he is doing and who is focusing on the success, he will not be afraid of the failure. So before discussing it further, I think we should go ahead for this next slide, and then we can go for the further discussion. That will be very helpful. So
Right. Please go ahead.
okay, success criteria according to Quran. So we are going to study what Quran says about success. Qad aflaha al-mu'minun. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah in the undoubtedly the believer reached to their goals. Allazina hum fi salatihim khayashi'un. Those who beseech in their prayers. And those who wallazina hum anil lagwi mu'ridun, and those who turn away from the vain talk. So it's very much clear that the qualities of the believer who are mindful about their success, they are constantly in contact with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the form of salah. They are online with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the form of salah. And then they know how to adjust their life in accordance with the meetings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not in accordance, they have to settle their life, their salah accordance with the life they're having, rather than they will settle their arrangements and their activities around the timing of the salah. It means their focus is their connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, rather than they don't take it as a ritual. They cherish this moment of meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And khashi'un is the word which means that they are aware of the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they know to whom they are meeting with, and they know who is the owner of the success, who is the source of the success. So it very much clear that only this state of mind will lead a person and lead a believer to have his destination. So can we move, do you want to add something else, and then we can move ahead, that will further elaborate?
I would just, Jazakallah khair, you said it all. I just want to add a small point here that aflaha, the first ayat says aflaha, kad aflaha al-mu'minun. Aflaha's root word is falah. Falah mean success. So here the translation is the believer reached to their goal, or believers who are successful would be another word. So I like that point, that the people who are afraid or who are fearful of their God in their salah are the successful people. So whatever you are doing keeping the, like you said, power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in mind. Not only just namaz is the practice of that fear. So you have to keep that fear all of your day, night, all of your life. And then this anil lahwi mu'ridun, this lahu is vain talk, anything which is vain. It's not just talk. So I think this is very much what I should say, compact and profound criteria of success, and it encompasses all of the definition which we already stated. So Jazakallah khair. I would go to the next slide.
And Sister Bushra, the vain talk will also include the concept any distraction which will lead to distract from the path of the success. So if the
Correct.
students are into their studies, so they should be having an idea of the time management, that how they have to refrain from all the activities who are hindrance in their time managing and doing this, in turning in their assignments on their time and all that. Because and who will be very much vigilant about turning their assignments on the time, who is very much conscious about their progress. So
Who are
yeah. I think it covers, for me, there is another type of things that I have to like be on time for the lunch and dinner. I have to serve everything on the time. So everyone has their own certain per day goals. For that, every day we have to be distractionless. We have to be focusing. We have to be mindful. I think this is the main idea of the vain love, the word love.
That is great point. We have to be mindful about our time, about our efforts. If we are not, there is greater chance that we are indulged in the vain activity or vain talk, which is not gonna generate us any fruitful result. So that's very important point. It's very important for students. So Jazakallah khair. In the next slide, we are going to discuss in general different aspect about success and failure, like what are different aspects which we should consider when we are thinking about success and failure. So I'll read through. It is more than winning and losing. It is about setting goals and striving to reach them. It is about solving problems and resolving difficulties. Success and failure are two sides of single coin. Failure is not the end of the process, rather it is starting point of success. Is dealt with wisdom. Sorry, can you, sorry, go ahead. Can you add to the last point, Sister Shabana? Can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, if failure is not the end of the process, rather it is starting point of the success if dealt with wisdom.
If dealt with wisdom. Okay,
yeah, if dealt with wisdom. So failure is a turning point. So it is said that if you win every day, the greatest chance you will be stagnant. But if you lose someday, that is the day when you learn to grow. So failure, this slide is giving me an idea that failure is not that something is negative, but the response which we give, that will tell us that will define the. And even I believe that even if we take success, if our response towards our success is a pride, then that is a failure. And if our failure is generating humbleness in ourselves, so that is a success. So the true the term which comes here, that how we are behaving as a human being, how we are behaving as a believer, if we are not fulfilling those criteria, even if we are failure, but still we are on the right path. Like I would just give an example. When Prophet Adam went and ate that forbidden fruit out of that forbidden tree, that was a moment, and that day was a failure day, but it turned out to be further developing a further relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he wept a lot. It is said that he wept for 40 years. I don't know it is true or long. Few there are certain scholars, they say that he kept on, like he was so much feeling sad about that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the word which comes before Rabbana zalamna anfusana, the word which is used over there, alqa means those words were gifted to Prophet Adam. So there was another connection, there was another relationship developed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Prophet Adam. So that failure, that response to that failure made the whole situation that Prophet Adam was was chosen to go one step ahead. And if we see on the other side, Saturn, what he did, he was one of the pious among us, of the most good jinn. He was not an angel.
Yeah.
Angel, and still he was having that success card, but how he chose to behave, he became arrogant, and he negated, so that turned out to be a failure. So failure and success is the response to the situation where we are. So our response, I think that is the thing which matters. These terms are very vague terms. They don't define our personality. The thing which defines our personality is our response, how we measure things in ourselves. And if we are in the process of believing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are in contact with the process of dua and prayer, which is the basic equipment which is given to a believer, then there will be nothing which will shatter in our life. So I think we should take the success and failure in these terms. And if any student sitting here have gone through a bad test someday, don't think bad. Don't lose your heart. It's okay if you learn a lesson, go ahead, start again, and you can rejoin that lesson again and go ahead. Don't take that failure as a end of the day, end of the life. So I think I'm getting that idea.
Yeah, that's amazing, and that's very true. And I was going to give this example of test and having a academic success and then feeling about it, because our student would be able to relate with it. Like, for example, if somebody has the target, okay, I have to top in the class, I have to take top position in the class, and they put their day and night's effort, hard work, they put their effort to grasp all the concepts, and they just do their best. And at the end of the day, somebody else take the position and they become second or third or fourth, or maybe no position is taken by them. So then what should they feel? If, like you said, if all that effort, they think, okay, I put my effort, but it was not Allah's will that I did my 100%. Okay, first thing should be, they should think, I did my 100%, but maybe that is 100% according to me, and there are areas of improvement, and maybe the other people comparatively did a little better, that's why they took that position. So if there are areas of improvement, I should go and improve myself. Second point, if they think, no, I did my best, this is my maximum mental capability, this is my maximum hard work, I cannot go beyond that, and even then I got second, third, or fourth position, then it means it is qadar. You know what qadar is? Qadar is that whatever happens, it happens with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have to submit to that will. That is called submission to the qadar, or submission to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or submission to the destiny, I should say. So on your destiny, when some negative outcomes is there, it has come, then you show your humbleness, then this is the success. It's not that you are successful and you become arrogant. That's not success, like you said, Sister Shabano. And in case of failure, if you become more humble, that is success actually. And in case of success, again, if you become more humble, that is success. So these are just worldly terms. So don't lose your heart. If somebody else is better than you, derive the lesson. I heard recently very good thing from this cricket match of Pakistan and Australia. There was a semi-final and Pakistan lost. Their coach was giving speech, and he said, somebody wrongly invented these terms, win or lose. It should be win and learn. So both are win-win situation. If you have failed in something, learn from your mistakes and move ahead. And maybe next time you are successful. So that is the whole concept of success. After losing, you are not losing your heart, you're not losing your mind, you're not losing your integrity. That is greater success. So
Amazing. That makes sense. That makes great sense.
Jazakallah khair. So now we will quickly read through the elements of successful mindset. So it's going to be, I would quickly read through, and then some of them we can explain. We would like to wind up in 7-8 minutes because we have our students have to do class activity as well. So eagerness. So elements of successful mindset. They have eagerness, ambition, dare to dream, commitment and conviction, clarity of intention and focus. So these can be discussed in details, but we'll briefly touch these areas. Sister Shabana, would you like to say something about it?
Yeah, eager mean if you're, I will just talk about the with reference to the students. If your parents have sent to this or institute, and you are totally unaware where they have sent you or why you have chosen your subjects, whatever you are like you have chosen. So you should be aware what you're reading, why you are here. It should be your own mindful like decision. It should not be it's a random thing that you are out of nowhere, you are sitting in a class, everyone is going back to the room or home and you are going back to the room. So you should be mindful that what you are doing, you are eager, and then set a goal. Don't go purposelessly. Don't do something which you don't know why you are doing. So this, what will this do? If you know what you're doing, that will generate a force inside you to direct you towards the right path, right steps, how you should move ahead. So same goes with the dare to dream. Like you can set that, oh, I want to be like that person, and then you have to be committed to your that wish and desire. And then you should be clear enough, or this day you are trying to like go for these subjects 30 days or first half month, and then no, I don't want to go to this area, I want to join medical or engineering. So this not gonna happen. Ask yourself, take out a me time and then think about where are your interests. And if you have already chosen, then be clear and set a goal, per day goal. I think this will help out all of you guys.
Yeah, that's amazing, very relevant. Okay, so I'll read through and I'll explain. Self-analysis, self-control, curiosity, receptiveness, and accommodative personality, positive and well-wishing attitude towards humanity, and optimistic approach. So these are the characteristics of successful people, that they constantly do self-analysis, whether they took right steps or wrong steps at any stage of life or a process. They have self-control. They are curious about stuff, because curiosity makes you learn new things, and that's how you become successful. And in order to be successful, you need to learn, and in order to learn, you have to be more receptive and accommodative, because you learn from different people. How you will learn if you are not receptive or not accommodative personality? And then positive well-wishing attitude, it's as the receptiveness and accommodative personality, it would yield the same results. And optimistic, like having a positive thought about the future, like whatever you do with the optimism of some goodness. Like if I do this pre-engineering, one day I would become a successful engineer or successful doctor through pre-medical. So this is called optimism or being optimistic. Sister Shabana, sorry, would you like to say something, or should we move ahead? And you can
we should move ahead. Sister Bushra, the first point is not very much visible in the slide. I don't know.
Self-analysis. The self-analysis?
Yeah, the self-analysis, like same goes with the previous slide.
Okay. Okay, this slide would be shared with, it would be shared with them. So I would request class coordinator to share the slide on the computer, then they would be able to see.
Exactly. That's wonderful.
Okay. So, okay, can you read through?
Yeah, open-mindedness, result-oriented approach, hard work and dedication, persistence. So open-mindedness, we already discussed that if you're open-minded means you're mindful and you will know the latest trends. And if you're like solving a sort of question in one manner, and your friend is like doing it in the other way, you should like listen to that person. And I believe attempting the question, I'm specifically talking about students who are nowadays turning in the assignments. So attempting the question, there are different types of like styles of attempting the question, how to grasp the attention of the invigilator who is checking your in assignments. So there are many tricks that you have to learn, like how to go for the headings, how to draw the key points. So if you're not open-minded, you are not discussing it with one of your fellows, or all of your fellows, or with your teacher, or you're not accepting new ideas, you will not have that that variety and the success pattern. So for that, you have to be open-minded. I'm specifically talking about this. And if you're doing a business anywhere, you are teaching, you should be open-minded, and you should be ready to, you should be receptive, and you should be ready to listen to get the, all the ideas. And then result-oriented approach, whatever you're doing, you should know what is the result of this. I'm waiting for half an hour for my friend that he should like finish his burger in the cafeteria, and then I'll go for the class. You're wasting your time. Go ahead. You don't need to waste time. Be on the mode that, okay, join me again, and don't miss your lecture, or don't waste your time. So result oriented approach doesn't only mean a long term approach. Per day, how you're spending your time, this time which you're just gossiping around, sitting in the hall area, or the in any way, you can check on that how we do certain things which are, we are not, they're not turning it into a successful pattern. So this is something like that. And the second one is hard work and dedication. I think if you're clear, you're clear, you are focused, then you know what to do, when to do. So hard work comes under all those things. And persistence, obviously we cannot be confident that whatever you're doing. So if you are like focused on yourself, you're confident about yourself, you will keep doing good. That why you will be percentage, the two reasons I'll just mention. That one, you will be not confident about yourself, and the other thing which will keep you away from the persistency is distraction. Leave the distractions. Don't go for the TV time, don't go for the gossip and scrolling on the mobile and sitting idly in the lounge area with your siblings and anything. Focus on what you are doing. So be persistent on your time and schedule which you have centered. And I would like suggest that make a timetable for everything, because you guys are sitting here not for a like random reason. You should all have a purpose, and for that you have make a schedule. I think we need to talk further in this, and later on we will Sister Bishra.
Jazakallah, Sister Shabano, you said it all. I will move to the next slide. This is characteristics of successful mindset or successful people, that they do take risks. So talking of one person, takes risk, keeps things simple, embraces discomforts, never gives up, time manager, gratitude, accept changes, work-life balance. So I would briefly touch all these points. Like taking risk is very important. You will never get to know stuff if you never try it. So and every new stuff involves the risk, whether it's trying new things. And keeps things simple. Do not need to create unnecessary complication, whether it's your relationships or because cultivating a good relationship is also important. So we should keep things simple in our matters, and also yeah, that's all coming right now in my mind. And embraces discomfort. Like whenever you're on the path to success, you face the difficulties, and you should have courage to embrace those difficulties. You should have the ability to work out of your comfort zone. Never gives up. It's kind of the relevant to the persistence or the other characteristics Shabano already explained. Time manager is, she is also explained that make the timetable. That's how you're going to succeed. Gratitude is very important. Like how you will continue to be successful when you show gratitude towards other human being. You will cultivate again good relationship with your teachers, your siblings, your classmates, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah ta'ala will give you more through these people. Accept changes, it's kind of same like having accommodating personality. Accept changes. If some test pattern is changed, quiz pattern is changed in school, in the class, you should not resist because your teacher knows better than you is one of the example of accepting the changes. Work-life balance, of course, if you are a workaholic or if you are, nerd who just like to study and study and study, that would be also not good. So you should take out time and add some layer to your life, whatever makes you happy. Have some hobby. If playing with your friend makes you happy, playing with your siblings makes you happy, or writing something, writing poetry, doing poetry, gardening, anything which makes you happy outside of your work, you should do that. So these are habits of successful people. So Sister Shabano, I think our time is up. I would like you to explain the class activity.
Okay, answer. These are the questions that you have to answer yourself. What is, I'm straight going to like read these out. What is my aim of life? What is my biggest achievement so far? When did I face failure and what I learned from it? Do I really want to study? A very amazing question. So I would love to have assignments that what they are going to write. Where do I stand as a student? What are the areas of my strength? What are the areas of my discrepancies? What is the special talent I have? Where do I see myself in next 10 years? So very, very much important slide.
Sister Shabano, can you quickly explain what are area of discrepancies? Should we rephrase?
Where I need to change myself? Where do I need to put more effort? So these are the areas where I need more work to do, like writing or skills and learning skills, or making assignments and time management. And these are the areas which will come across when you will spend me time where I am. So spend time with you. And I believe, think about yourself more rather than thinking about other people, what everyone is doing. We have to focus what we are doing and spending our time rightly. Yeah, here we go.
Khair. I would love to see your responses. I would request your amazing class instructors to have these assignments handed over to you and then the responses submitted to us. Jazakallah khair, everyone. We will be with you with another amazing topic. Till then, Assalamu alaikum. Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.